All right, so this is, let me put up something on the screen. I don't like to be on like completely on the screen. This is the breakdown for the year ahead. And this is where the planets start off for 2024, what gates they're in. And as you could see, Neptune is still in 36, a lot of lack of clarity and seeing others and being able to see others clearly. And gate 36 is part of the channel, which is the channel of crisis. Well, that's the gate of crisis. And then the gate 35 is the gate of seeking adventure. And this usually causes some type of mutation or transformation. We're all going through this right now. We're all feeling that energy of the 36 of meeting and connecting with others to some degree, especially those with gate 35. And you could see gate 60 right here on right up from the root center. That's where Pluto is going to be for the entire year, hovering between Aquarius and Capricorn. And then finally moving into Aquarius and eventually the gate after the 60. But for this year, we dealt with this energy last year. Pluto was already here. It was just moving inside the degrees of it. And there will be a lot of transits. Of course, the moon moves every 2.5 days. The sun is monthly. Mercury moves about every 6, 7 weeks. And I'm speaking now in terms of the astrology signs, in terms of the gates. The moon changes every 6 hours. Sun is every 4 or 5 days. Mercury's, I don't want to go too deep into it, but as you can see, we do have channel 39 and 55 turned on as we begin the year. This channel is the emotional solar plexus channel. So there will be a lot of waiting to feel clear about things. There won't be clarity right away. We all as humans need our time to reflect and reassess things and to process. And that's something we need to make time for. And relative to our attachment style or health, we all do that differently. And I'm going to go ahead and read off my little prompter here for the year. So this year on February 10th will begin the year of the wood dragon. The blueprint is complete now. It is a time to build the castle and the bridge over the moat. The burning red suns above will continue to churn and churn around and within us. Solar flares will continue to abound this year. Last year marked a record of solar flares, thus explaining how the sun is transforming, or suns. I think we know there's more than one sun up above, or maybe it's a reflection of the sun, or reflections or doubles or doppelgangers of our solar force that is also within another duplication. Now, as we move towards the markers and transitions of 2027 Sleeping Phoenix, the grandfather clock of the sky seems to use a mechanical metaphor, a beingness seemingly composed of various mechanisms to regulate its many mathematical divisions of our temporal cycles. Each planet in some way represents a temporal cycle, and this is very powerful in our lives. As we all know, Saturn's cycle is 7 years. Every 7 years, we have Saturn conjuncting, opposing, or squaring our natal Saturn, which is a reset for us and giving up what hasn't worked the prior 7 years and then beginning with new goals, new 7-year building goals. And all the planets have their cycles. We know the moon has its 2-week full moon cycle and its 2-week new moon cycle. And those are very intimate cycles related to our ability to feel what we need to feel and not letting our emotions solidify in our bodies. And the mechanical sky cogs of without and within move like gears, weights, and pendulums. to interact with the recorded pictures of our own internal movements, rhythms, and dissonances of electrical impulses. We record from moment to moment in the lines of our skin and in the basement of our many minds these electromagnetic waves and how they regulate our movements. These actions are so much cymatics that form our holographic Saturnian reality. An interaction of electrical or magnetic temporal movements of the planetary bodies with our own bodies. Each planet has its own flow and movement. As we experience these patterns simultaneously in our multi-density states of being, the interaction causes an interplay in us where the planets turn the raw information in your body and make it into a dreamwave reality that we experience on the day-to-day. As I noted, the red sun neutrinos and increased solar flares will continue to be active, transforming this year. Be sure to spend time every day under its light, warmth, and way. There's a relationship that we need to have with both the sky-bound and the earth-bound. Both earth and solar energy needs to pour through us in order for us to clear. Now, as I noted before, the sun every month goes through about 5 gates, and this will be for the remainder of the year. So to keep this short, I'm going to go over the highlights of the year. Now, as I structure a year, I structure it by the solstices and the equinoxes. The first will be the spring equinox, and that will be around March 20th, 21st, 22nd. Now, this will initiate a very, very intense and chaotic period of time. Mostly, we will see the fruit of that as the April eclipses come to undo things and reinitiate other things. Now, there's a lot of talk about the financial system, cryptocurrencies, a kind of cryptocurrency to replace the dollar. Some of these things are really, really disturbing. And the theme of this year with the wood dragon is to embolden yourselves and to stay in commitment to your firm goals of sovereignty and independence. Everything is coming down. What we take for granted in this system that we have in this governmental system, wherever you live, all that is shifting and changing. By 2027, it will become unrecognizable. Thus, it is a time to make your own way and stand firmly and solidify it this year and onward. In April, we could see another kind of, what would I call it, false, fake event that's broadcasted on our entertainment screens. These smoke screens are already provoking us to be afraid of bank collapses, thus preparing us for the solution, the salvation, filling us with fear so that when the time is right, we'll be introduced with the proper solution, a new CBD, whatever digital currency. I would be very wary of making any new agreements with such ultimately failed visions. Such a plot will fail. It's inevitable. There was talk last year of Carrington events, electronic events. Of course, that there was that recent terrible film that came out on Netflix called Leaving the Future Behind or something stupid like that. And of course, it presented some kind of event where the internet and went offline. And so they could just as well do this for a week, 2 weeks, just to see how we publicly react to such things. There's no fault in preparation, and there's no fire in fear, except as the litany in Dune, as Frank Herbert noted, about feeling your fear fully and letting it pass through you, letting it burn through you, and keeping your eye on it to see where it is when it's gone out of your body, where you are, and seeing, observing clearly. Now, this year will be chaotic, but it will be an empowering form of chaos if we can move through our fears and really express ourselves in our way. We shall embolden our visions this year and lay firm new foundations for the seeming chaos of 2027. But as I always say, do not fear chaos, employ it. And with that, I'll see you guys on my next video, which is going to be on the effects of Pluto every month when the moon shines its light on this kind of dark underworld, black sun planet, and what exactly occurs. What exactly is it that Pluto unravels in one's life and puts back together? Okay, thanks so much.